Hi kids, Mr. Tony here. It's that time again, time for another video art lesson. Un lección de arte. I've written art in Spanish, and that is because we are learning all about Spain, the country of Spain. That's what we're doing all week, and that's where Spanish comes from, the Spanish language. So I've written it in Spanish, art. I've written art in Spanish, arte. All you have to do is add an E, and you've got arte in Espanol. Okay, so what did I do yesterday? Well, up here we have a flamenco fan, okay, and that's the fan that's used in the traditional flamenco dance that goes with what? Flamenco music, and that's why I added a guitar here. Okay, and that's often what's used for flamenco music. I think the little clip I played for you or showed you yesterday had some other kind of instruments playing in the background, but very often you will hear an acoustic guitar with the flamenco dance, okay? And that's what we're going to be doing today, a guitar, okay? A colorful guitar, a flamenco guitar. But first I want to show you the fan. Okay, I fixed it up, evened it out a little bit, and it actually works. So you can make yourself a nice flamenco fan, or you can just take a plain piece of paper and make one of these accordion folds. Okay, learn how to do that. And anytime it's real hot, and today it's pretty hot, you can make yourselves a nice fan. I think I did this used to do this when I was a kid and it got really hot at school. I remember not having air conditioner at some of my schools, so we kids would make fans like this, and it works pretty good. Just bat it around your face and you get a nice little breeze. Okay, so the guitar. We are going to make a colorful flamenco guitar, and here's a sample of what I did with the little kids. Okay. Pretty simple, but let's take a look at an actual guitar so we know what we're working from, okay? And this is an acoustic classical guitar. Some guitars are electric and you plug them in. This is acoustic, it doesn't need to be plugged in. And it's got a body, okay? I'll call that the body. And it's got a sound hole and the neck. And that's the main guitar. There's also a bridge down here and strings, but we're going to keep it simple. We're just going to do the body, the sound hole, the neck, and this part up here. This is called the head. All right, there's the head, and it's got tuning pegs. That's how you tune your strings up. Okay, little flamenco music to start us off. I'm not a guitarist, so I actually looked up flamenco music online, and I've got a little flamenco guitar to play you in the background to give us inspiration for our flamenco guitar art. Click on it. There it is. Plucking and strumming. Okay, so that's flamenco music, flamenco guitar. I'll turn it down a little bit, but I'll keep it on for while we're making our art. It'll be nice to listen to it in the background. It has a nice Spanish feel to it, traditional Spanish feel. Okay, just loud enough so we can hear it, but it doesn't interfere. That's pretty good. Okay, so what we're gonna need today for this is paper, a pencil, and crayons. All right, now the guitar, the hardest part of the guitar is this funny hourglass shape. Okay, it's symmetric, which means one side is the exact opposite, mirror opposite of the other. Okay, but that's kind of hard to do because it's a little bump and then a big bump. I'm going to show you how you can map it out a little bit. Let's make a little line in the center here. Okay, That's going to be the top of the body, this part. And then a little line at the bottom. Okay. Now, what I often do with drawing, if I'm drawing a big shape that has a funny shape to it or has parts to it, I'll break it down, simplify it. And artists often do that. You can think of this guitar as having two ovals. It's kind of like a snowman, right? Except it's not round snowballs, it's oval shapes. So you have an oval here and an oval down here. Okay, and that's what I'm going to do for starters on my drawing here. Now it's a little tricky for me drawing from the side. I'll do my best. Okay, that's the top oval. I'm doing it lightly because this is not going to be part of the art. This is going to get erased. The end product is going to be all crayon. Okay, so this is just a guideline. I'm keeping it kind of light, but I do want you to be able to see it. Okay, that's the first oval. And then at the bottom, like I said, it's like a snowman, a bigger oval. Now it's off again because I'm drawing from the side, so I gotta look at it straight on so I get it right. Okay, that's better. See, and I went lightly so I can adjust with my eraser. Okay, that's pretty good. Now you'll notice in between these two bumps, it's attached with a curved line. Okay, so I'm going to put that curved line like that and connect the two ovals. Same thing over here. Connect the two ovals, and that's the body of the guitar. And I'll erase these guidelines. There it is. It's kind of a pear shape, actually. Smooth it out a little bit. Yeah. Think of it as a pear. It's a perfect pear. Okay, it's a little skinny at the top, or smaller at the top and bigger at the bottom. Pear, snowman, whatever you need to keep in mind while you're making that shape. That's the basic body shape of a flamenco guitar. Okay, what's next? Right here, right about here, we have the sound hole. And that's a perfect circle, so that's all you need to do is a circle. Like that. I think I made that a little high up there. That's about right. It's a little small. Make it bigger. Now I'm fussing again. Which I'm always telling you not to fuss too much, but that's good. If you really want to work at it and get it just right, then you need to do lots of adjustments. So you start out kind of light and you adjust as you go along. I notice my drawings from the side is always a little squished because I'm looking at it at an angle, so it's never quite right, but that's about right. Okay, what's next? What's up here? The neck. Okay, and the neck is just a line, it's just a rectangle going straight up from the sound hole, straight up. I'm going to turn it a little bit and give myself a guideline. Okay, one line going straight up or straight down, depending on how you're drawing it, to the sound hole. Okay, this one's going straight up. And the neck is about as wide as the sound hole, maybe not quite as wide. Let's look at the actual guitar. Yeah, you see here's the neck, and then the sound hole is just a little bit wider than the neck. Okay, like that. My line's a little crooked, that's okay. And that's it, that's the neck. And I'll draw a line straight across. Now it's just a big rectangle. And on top here we have the head. That's where the tuning pegs are. Okay, this is the head, and you have tuning pegs, 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3, and on the other side, 1, 2, 3. I believe this is the guitar, the kind of guitar that Miss Cynthia plays when she's doing sing-alongs with you guys in music, or maybe just playing music for you. Okay, so the head, we'll keep it simple. We're just going to make a rectangle. Yeah, and overall, I'm going to try to keep this lesson pretty simple so it doesn't take so much time. I realized I cannot edit my videos. I can't cut out pieces of it to make the slow parts faster, which I was hoping I could do, but I can't do that. So I'll try not to go on too long. If we get to a part where I'm going to spend a lot of time coloring something and it's just going to be me going back and forth, you can kind of fast forward if you like, okay? But I'll try not to go too long. Yesterday I went on pretty long for that flamenco fan lesson. But it was a good lesson, and if you stuck with it, you learned something. Okay, up here on the machine head, on each side, you have 1, 2, 3 lines, then a peg that you turn to tune the string. Okay, that's that. And what else? On the neck, you have frets. Here's the neck. And the frets are these little metal pieces that go across the neck, and you put your finger in between them to make different notes. Right? Okay, let's start up here near the head. 1 fret, another fret, and another. And as you go down, the frets get closer together. Actually, I think I need a few more frets up here. That's good enough. It's not 100% accurate, but that's okay. We just want it to look kind of like a guitar. And that's it. That's the basic guitar. And now, if you've done this, or if you found it too hard to do, maybe you can get someone to help you with it, or just work on it with your eraser until you get it right. Or if you get frustrated, you can just watch, right? And if you don't have the materials, you can just watch. Okay? But whatever you do, it's all good. We're learning about Spanish music, Spanish art. In the background, we got Spanish music playing, so we are in good shape. All right, the coloring. Use whatever colors you want. Make it interesting. What color is a flamenco guitar, usually? It's the color of the wood, whatever wood it's made from. This is the wood for the body, which is kind of light, and then you have the neck wood, which is a heavier wood, and that's pretty dark. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. I see it now. I'm going to go back with my pencil, and around the sound hole, I'm going to add another circle. And that's a little decorative element that almost every classical guitar has, and they'll have this. It's like a little inlay. Okay, this is probably just a decal. Sometimes it's an inlay, which is fancy woodwork. But I think that would be a nice little touch to add to our drawing. So there it is, little circle around that first circle, which is the sound hole. And now you just take your colors and you color it in. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of coloring. And if you get bored, you can skip ahead. But I do have a couple of things to say while I'm coloring here. You'll notice I began with the pencil, okay? Because what I want to do is after I fill in my colors, I want to take my crayon, my black crayon, and go over the lines with the heavy black line to really give it definition, to really make it stand out. And I save that for after I do my colors, because if you put the black line in first, it kind of mixes. It'll mix a little bit with the colors with crayon, especially light colors like yellow. And I want to keep it nice and clean. I want to keep the colors nice and clean and bright. And if you did it with marker, it would definitely mix. Okay, if you ever drew something with a black marker outline, then you colored in the parts, when you got to yellow, you'd have the black and yellow all mixed. So I start with the pencil line, fill in my colors, then I go back with my dark line and I heavy up those outlines to give it definition. Okay, that's all I wanted to say, and now I'm going to continue coloring different colors. Pink fret, another pink fret. There's lots of frets. I don't know how many frets. I know there's 12 frets going up to about there, and that's one scale, which you're probably learning about in music. That's going from Do all the way up to Do, right? A whole scale, 12 frets, and then there are more frets right up to the hole. And the notes get very high when you get up near the hole. Let's demonstrate. Lost my board. That's the highest note right there on the whole guitar. That's the lowest note. Okay, I could count the frets, but I won't bore you with that. Okay, I'll continue coloring. Let's see what else. What's another good color? Green. I'll do this little decorative circle in this light lime green. These are nice summery colors. Reminds me of sherbet. Maybe a green there. Okay. And how about red violet? This is the creative part. Okay, drawing the guitar was more technical. Now we're being creative with the colors, because you don't see guitars like this. They're just wooden. Sometimes there'll be guitars that are painted different colors. This part might be one different color, but the neck, I don't think you'd see all this colorful stuff on the fretwork. Although sometimes there's inlays on the frets to make it kind of fancy. But it's mainly a wooden color, especially with classical guitar. Electric guitars get a little more colorful. Okay, purple. Okay, like so. And I could continue on and do the whole thing, fill it in. But like I said, I'm gonna try not to go on so long. Yesterday I went longer than I had planned. And I wanna try and keep it a little short so I don't lose your attention, right? Last step. If I had the whole thing colored, my last step would be using the black to give it a heavy outline. But since I'm not going to color the whole thing, I'm going to do it now to demonstrate. Now you don't have to do an outline like that. You could just leave it with the pencil line, which would be okay. But I thought this would give it a real bold look. Sometimes you put outlines around things that you're coloring. That's often the way cartoons are made. They almost all have heavy outlines, except for Samurai Jack. If any of you have ever seen Samurai Jack, you'll notice they don't have the usual dark outlines. Okay, and some artists will use heavy outlines, but most don't. Cartoonists use heavy outlines. Most do, anyway. But whoever did Samurai Jack decided, I'm gonna not use outlines, and it's pretty interesting. It's a very creative cartoon. Okay, so here we go. Colorful guitar. And if we were at school and you did this, I could cut them all out and hang them somewhere while we're doing our Spanish week and get everyone in flamenco music mood. Okay, there you go. So that's it. Today's lesson. I'm gonna outline these two. I forgot something. That's it. Now, today's lesson on flamenco guitar, the traditional Spanish classical guitar done with a little bit of a creative flair with all these colors. I hope you're able to do it. All you need is paper, crayons, and pencil, and you're set. But if not, as always, you can just watch and learn. And you got to hear some Spanish music in the background, traditional flamenco music. Okay, that gives you a nice feeling of Spain. I actually really like flamenco guitar. It's nice guitar. It's very fast and very, very emotional. Okay, and when they're doing the dance and they're stomping around too, it's great. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.